Hey new YouTube, it's Will from Real Development. Today I'm going to talk about energy boosters. This is a slight tie-in to my video I'm going to release later about supplements. And I'm going to release that video way later because I need to compile all my research and really think about it. But I'm going to jump right into it. Supplement companies sell you energy boosters. You know, what the hell is it? You know, I'm talking about all the supplements. You know, the Monster, Red Bull, all that stuff. Coffee companies, all that good stuff. Everybody. You know, even the mainstream supplement companies, and I call them mainstream, I mean mainstream in the fitness industry, companies like Optimum Nutrition even, and, you know, everybody, Hydroxycut, you know, they make themselves, they say they're weight loss pills, but they're basically just caffeine, they're an energy booster. Although I've got to say I've tried Hydroxycut, just because it's my fucking body, and you know, if I'm going to talk, I want to talk from experience. So if I'm going to tell you Hydroxycut does this, this, and this, I want to be able to tell you that from experience, from my personal experience, not from what I've read. You know, they'll tell you you lose 30 pounds on the shit, and I'll tell you, if you take it, your hands might start shaking, and your stomach's going to feel funny. You won't be hungry. I was not fucking hungry at all every time I took one of the pills. I swear to God, I could not eat. In fact, one time I popped the 2 pills in the morning like it told me to after I acclimated myself to the holy shit dosage of caffeine that was in it. And I was biking to work back when I used to bike to work. And there's this hill. It's not a hill, it's a bridge I had to go over every day. It was going to work. It was about 3/4 of the way to work, and then obviously coming home, it was about 1/4 of the way coming home. So heading to work, I always got a nice little warm up before I had to hit the holy shit bridge, and then on the way back, I always hit it first thing and got a nice, you know, breeze, basically, straight shot, nice even ground on the way home. But I'll never forget, it was one morning, I took them, and they work fast. I mean, you can literally feel the pill in your stomach just kind of like bursting open. And I got on my bike maybe 15, 20 minutes after I took the thing, and I could feel it like, basically, it felt like a fucking bomb going off in my literal stomach. And I'm biking, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting like dizzy. I take the water, and I'm drinking some of the water while I'm biking. I'm going. And I hit the bridge, and I'm getting up the bridge, and I'm standing to get up the bridge because it's pretty steep for a bike. When you're on a bike, it's steep. In a car, it doesn't seem steep. I promise you. Like, for every degree of incline something appears to be in a car, like multiply that by like 6, and that's what it feels like when you're on a bike or walking. Like, holy shit. Like, if it looks like this in a car, it's really this. Like, it's terrible, but it is what it is. And I did it for a year. I did it for years, plural, like 2.5 years. I biked to work back when I had my old job and then when I got my new job. But I'll never forget it because it was terrible. I was biking, and I was 3/4 of the way up the hump, and I hit this point where I just stopped. And I put my legs down, and I'm you know, straddling the bike with it in the middle of me, and I'm just sitting there like gagging, and I'm just feeling like I have to throw up. I'm like dry heaving, and it was the most terrible experience I've ever had taking any supplement ever. Would I do it again? Oh hell yeah! Like, the amount of energy I had was nuts, and it made me shit like nobody's business. I am a firm believer that if you take something that will make you poop, take it. Because shitting is a beautiful thing, just like peeing. Peeing is a beautiful thing. Peeing means you're getting water. Shitting means you're getting fiber, or something that's at least helping you poop. You know what I mean? I like how I refer to the act of it as shitting, but then I refer to the actual product as poop. That's funny to me why I do that. So energy boosters, do they work? Well, you know what? Hell yeah, they work. They work well a lot of times. I mean, these 5-hour power things, these things are fucking nuts. I knew a guy who, he was rough with them. I mean, he would take 3 or 4 a day. And I would just look at him and I'd be like, dude, you're going to die. And he never did. But then again, you see people drink 4 pots of coffee, you know what I mean? And it's like, well, which one's worse, None of it could be really that good for you, but as my argument to everybody always is, if you ask an old Mexican grandmother what the secret to longevity is, she will tell you fried chicken and cigarettes. And she's in her 90s and can kick your ass. So think about that for a while. Oh. But look, energy boosters, I have tried the supplements. I stay away from anything that has nitric oxide in it. Not because I don't believe nitric oxide works. I always go to my supplement website, examine.com before I put anything supplement-wise in my body, because I know they've done the research and I can do the research myself there because they have plenty of case studies to look through. And they're totally unbiased. They're not linked to anybody, that sort of deal. My point is, I looked up nitric oxide, and there's basically not enough research to support saying it does or it doesn't work. I mean, you ask guys, they'll swear up and down that this stuff works, but most of the supplements that you find nitric oxide in has a shit ton of caffeine in it. So, which one's doing it, the caffeine or the nitric oxide? Which then leads me into talking about how most energy boosters are just a shit ton of caffeine, which there's nothing wrong with. Caffeine is an addictive chemical, and it does affect your nervous system. Basically anything that ends with "ine," it's going to do something to your body. Let me just put it to you that way. Protein, caffeine, nicotine. Just look at it that way, casein, creatine. It's going to affect your body in some sort of way. Odds are 10 to 1, that sort of bet. That's my point with that. I'm not anti-ine. Don't get me wrong. Love me some nicotine. Love a good cigar. Hookah. Oh. So, my point is, these energy boosters that they sell, whether it's over the counter, and I think they even have some that are by prescription, which disturbs me slightly, and I don't know much about them, so I won't talk about them, and I can be totally off base about it. But usually speaking, the pharmaceutical industry, if there's somebody with an ailment they can exploit, they will. Exploit is a harsh word. That makes it sound like they're taking advantage of people. If somebody's suffering from an ailment that they can do something about, they will. So that's why I'm sure there's an energy prescription drug somewhere. But my point is, energy boosters sold to basically through anybody, it's just a shit ton of caffeine. When you really break it down and you look at all the ingredients that are doing stuff to your body, I mean, yeah, they have like the guarana and the taurine and all that good stuff. But look those supplements up separately. I'm not even going to tell you what they do, just look them up separately. And you might be surprised at what taurine actually has been shown to do to a body, and what guarana actually has been shown to do to a body, and that sort of thing. My biggest problem with a lot of the energy drinks as energy boosters is just like with everybody else, the amounts of sugar that are in them. I'm a huge proponent of if it fits your macros, though. So, I mean, hell, if all that sugar and the calories that are associated with it fit your macros, go for it. And I'm not going to sit here and say don't drink something that has Splenda or, whatever. Everything fucking causes cancer. So just fucking do what you can do to avoid the obvious shit like huffing a fire. And then, what's going to happen is probably just going to happen in that case. So sugar-free isn't always better. You know what I mean? Stevia, it's causing cancer now. Great. Fucking living causes cancer. The only solution is for us all to kill ourselves. You know what I mean? You can't live in fear of that shit. But, two sides to every coin. Don't stick your mouth on a muffler and huff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems so logical, but sometimes it's really not, because you get confused, because then I sit here and say, ooga booga booga, be wary of these these dangerous supplement companies. Why did I say ooga booga booga? That's so fucking weird. You know, be wary of these energy drink companies. You know, all this stuff. And then the supplement companies, same thing. Like I said, I took Hydroxycut. I tried Lipo 6, I think. And I wasn't even taking these for fat loss purposes. I was just taking them to see what the hell they would do to my body. Just out of blatant curiosity. Did I lose weight on them? Hell yeah, I lost weight on most of them. Mainly for the reason of they totally suppressed my fucking appetite by making me want to throw up. And that was just my personal experience. And the experience of 3 other people that were taking it at the same time as me. But I did lose weight. I lost a lot of water weight too, because I mean, I would drink water and then immediately have to piss. And I would eat and immediately have to shit like 10 minutes later. It was ridiculous. I don't know if it boosted my metabolism. I don't know if it had other chemicals or whatever in it that caused that sort of thing, but my point is, the only energy booster I really believe in is black coffee. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I know what's in coffee. You know what I mean? I trust what's in coffee. It's coffee. And there actually is a giant misconception, which I have a little bit of time here, so I'll talk about it real quick. Black coffee does not have more caffeine in it than lighter roast coffees. In fact, it's the total opposite. Coffee beans are green. And I'm explaining all this shit, number 1, because I love to hear my own voice, and number 2, because it'll help you understand why. So it starts out green, and what they do is they roast the coffee beans, like basically in an oven sort of thing. It's like, from what I remember, it was like a conveyor belt, basically, the same way they usually dry products. Conveyor belt with like heat lamps and that sort of thing. And that's how they roast them. They may have changed it. I don't recall exactly, but that's how they roast them. They roast them. The longer they roast them, the darker the bean gets, because it's basically like if you cook bread, the longer you cook it, the darker it gets, because you're starting to burn it after a while. Certain beans give off better aromatic flavors and aromatic flavors and things like that, the more you roast them. Just the way it works, right? But the longer you roast it, the less nutrients it has. So what ends up happening is the lighter bean has more nutrients, more antioxidants in it, if any are in that particular strand of bean, and caffeine, which all your coffee beans are going to have. So lighter, meaning less toasted, is going to have more of the natural, not meaning like fucking natural. Natural as in when you pull it from the fucking ground, that's what it is. Nutrients in it, one of those nutrients, or micronutrients, being caffeine. So when you're looking for coffee to kick your ass, go light, not dark. Flavor does not equal power when it comes to coffee. Period. That goes for supplements too. I mean, I've tried some damn tasty supplements that are just completely shit useless. And I've tried some that tasted fucking disgusting that were really good for you. Funny how that works. So energy boosters, I say stay away. If you need an energy booster, just go with black coffee. And I don't mean darker black coffee. I mean, don't put anything in it, just drink it. If you need something in it, put some milk. Hell, you just got some protein that way. Sugar, if it fits your macros, bro, go for it. You know, questions, comments, concerns, or worries, hit me down below. Or on Facebook, facebook.com/willdevelopment. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram at Will Development. I post pictures. This channel's mainly about my development and stuff, but I still like to drop some wisdom, you know, once or twice a week, that sort of thing, just because I like to hear my own fucking voice. What can I say? And, you know, that's about it. And if you still want to take these things, take them. It's your fucking body. I don't give a shit. And if you find research contrary to what I'm saying, please present it. But, you know, if you're just going to say fuck it without knowing what you're putting in your body, which, you know, it's really hard to actually know what you're really putting in your body without growing shit yourself. You know, but if you're just going to blindly take shit, then what's your excuse?